I want you to stop scrolling for exactly 20 seconds. Don't skip, don't fast forward, just listen. If a financial crash happened tomorrow morning, before you finished your coffee, before you checked your phone, how many days could you actually survive? Not survive comfortably, I mean survive. Pay rent, buy groceries, keep the electricity on. If your honest answer is less than 30 days, pause 2 seconds, then the crash isn't coming for you. It's already here. And your bank account right now, today, is the proof. My name is Azim, and before you think this is another doom and gloom video telling you to buy gold or move to a bunker, it's not. I'm not going to sell you anything. I'm not going to tell you Bitcoin will save you. And I'm definitely not going to show you a chart and pretend I know exactly when the crash hits. What I am going to do is something almost nobody in finance is doing right now. I'm going to show you the real numbers, the actual 2026 data, and I'm going to show you how ordinary Americans, people making decent money, paying their bills on time, are quietly being drained by a system designed specifically to keep them broke. In the next 20 minutes, here's exactly what you'll get. 1. The 3 invisible money drains silently costing the average American over $4,000 every single year. Most people have no idea these even exist. 2. The one psychological trap that makes middle-class Americans lose the most during every crash in the last 100 years. Not the poor, not the rich, the middle class, every time. 3. A 4-step financial firewall you can build in 30 days. No app, no financial advisor, no minimum balance required. This is based on real 2026 data, real families, real numbers. Let's get into it. 1. The invisible drain system. Let me give you a number that should make you angry. According to Bankrate's 2026 Emergency Savings Report, this just came out, 27% of American adults have zero emergency savings. Not a little, zero. That's the highest level ever recorded in this country. And here's what makes it worse. Income went up. Between 2024 and 2025, average American income grew by over $4,000. So where did that money go? I'll tell you exactly where. It disappeared into what I call the invisible drain system. 3 financial products specifically designed at a corporate level. You're to quietly pull money out of your pocket every single month while you're busy living your life. Drain number 1, the minimum payment trap. You've got a $3,000 credit card balance. You pay the minimum, maybe $75 a month. Feels responsible. You're not missing payments. You're doing fine. Here's what your bank statement won't tell you. At the current average APR of 22.3%, that's the Fed's actual November data. That $3,000 balance takes over 14 years to pay off, and you'll pay nearly $5,000 in interest alone. You didn't buy anything with that $5,000. You didn't take a vacation. You didn't fix your car. That money just evaporated into a quarterly earnings report. And right now, 76% of Americans are carrying some form of debt. 87% of them wish they weren't. Drain number 2, buy now, pay later, the new silent debt. BNPL apps, Klarna, Afterpay, Affirm. They feel like they're helping you. 4 easy payments, no interest, spread it out. But research shows that BNPL users carry between 4 and 6 of these plans simultaneously. Each one feels tiny. Together, it's a second credit card you forgot you had, except this one has no grace period and no flexibility. When your income drops even 20%, and 20% of Americans experience job loss or income reduction in 2025, those small payments stack instantly, and suddenly you can't make rent. Drain number 3, the insurance loyalty penalty. This one is almost criminal and almost nobody talks about it. If you've been with the same insurance company for more than 3 years, you are almost certainly paying 20 to 25% more than a brand new customer for the exact same coverage. They call it a loyalty discount. It's actually a loyalty penalty. They know you won't check. They rely on it. These 3 drains combined, for the average American household, that's $3,500 to $5,000 disappearing every year. That's not spending money. That's money being extracted from you while you sleep. 2, the psychological trap. Now, here's the part of this video I want you to really pay attention to, because this is the part nobody ever talks about. I've studied every major financial crash of the last 100 years, 1929, 1987, 2000, 2008, 2020, and there's one group that consistently loses the most every single time. Not the poor. The poor don't have much to lose, not the rich. The rich have teams of accountants, hedge funds, and tax lawyers specifically protecting their wealth. It's the middle class, the people doing everything right, working hard, paying their bills, following the rules. They lose the most every time. And the reason is one specific psychological trap. Economists call it status quo bias. Here's what it looks like in your actual life. When things feel okay, when you've got a job, when the bills are getting paid, when nothing is on fire, your brain sends you a signal. It says, this is fine. No need to change anything. So you don't build the emergency fund. You'll start next month. You don't review the insurance. You'll do it when things slow down. You don't attack the credit card. The minimum payment works for now. And then the crash comes, and you realize that fine was just slow motion sinking. Right now, the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Index is sitting below 57. That is textbook recessionary territory. People feel something is wrong, but status quo bias keeps them frozen. And here's the part that should genuinely make you angry. Bloomberg recently covered a book by 2 economists, John Campbell and Taran Ramadorai, documenting something they call a reverse Robin Hood dynamic in personal finance. The financial mistakes of ordinary, less financially savvy people, the minimum payments, the forgotten subscriptions, the loyalty penalties, create direct cross subsidies for wealthier customers. Your mistakes are literally making rich people richer. This isn't a conspiracy theory. This is documented, peer-reviewed economics. You're not bad with money. You were never taught how the system actually works. And the system benefits from you not knowing. That ends today. 3, what's actually happening right now? Let me give you the real numbers. 2026, right now, 53% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, more than half. That's not just low-income families, that's engineers, teachers, nurses, people with good jobs. 59% cannot cover a $1,000 emergency expense from savings. The personal savings rate has dropped to around 3.6%. If your household brings home $6,000 a month after taxes, a 3.6% savings rate means you're keeping $216. That's it. One car repair away from zero. 88% of Americans started 2026 feeling financial stress. 77% experienced a financial setback in 2025. And 15.3% of Americans, this is from the New York Fed, expect to miss a minimum debt payment in the coming months. That's the highest level since April 2020, the middle of a global pandemic. Let that sink in. We are not in a pandemic. The stock market is not collapsed. And yet more Americans are about to miss debt payments than at almost any point in recent history. Here's the most important thing I want you to hear today. A crash doesn't need to be 2008 to destroy your financial life. A crash for you might just be a car repair you didn't expect, a medical bill that insurance didn't fully cover, 3 months without work. For 27% of Americans right now, people with zero saved, that's not a crash. That's a Tuesday. So, what do you actually do? That's exactly what's next. The 4-step financial firewall. I call this the 4-step financial firewall, not because it sounds impressive, because that's literally what it does. It builds a wall between you and financial chaos. No investing app, no financial advisor, no minimum balance, just 4 steps, 30 days. Step 1, the 72-hour audit. In the next 72 hours, not next week, not when you have time, 72 hours, open your bank app, write down every single recurring charge, every subscription, every automatic payment, every BNPL plan, all of them, on paper or in your notes app. I want you to know that the average person doing this finds between $200 and $400 in recurring charges they completely forgot about. Things they signed up for years ago, free trials that became paid, services they never use. That's not investing. That's not budgeting. That's just stopping the bleeding. Cancel anything you haven't used in 30 days. Done. Step 2, the 1% emergency start. Here's where most financial advice fails you. They say save 3 to 6 months of expenses. And if you have nothing saved, that number is so large it feels impossible. So you do nothing. Forget 3 to 6 months for now. Start with 1% of your income. If you make $4,000 a month, that's $40. Set up an automatic transfer the day you get paid to a high yield savings account, not a regular savings account. High yield. Right now, those are paying around 4 to 5%. Your money earns money while it sits there. You will not miss $40. In 12 months, that's $480 plus interest. That didn't exist before. Next month, make it 2%. The month after, 3%. You will not notice the change, but your bank account will. Step 3, the insurance shakeup. This one takes 45 minutes and saves most people $400 to $700 per year. Go to a comparison site, the Zebra, Policy Genius, any of them, or just call your current insurance provider and say 4 words. I'm shopping around today. Watch how fast they find you a better rate. If they don't, switch. The average American overpays by hundreds of dollars every single year simply by staying loyal to a company that doesn't reward that loyalty. 45 minutes, $400 to $700 back in your pocket every year. Step 4, the minimum payment kill. Take your highest interest credit card. Whatever you're paying monthly, double it. Even if it's just 1 month, even if it's just this month. Here's why this matters more than almost anything else you can do with money right now. At 22% APR, doubling your payment doesn't just cut your timeline in half, it saves you thousands in interest, real dollars. That would have just disappeared. You don't need to pay it all off this month, just double it once, then again next month. Build the habit. Now let me show you what this actually looks like in real life. Maria's 31. She lives in Texas. She works in healthcare administration and makes about $52,000 a year. She came to me with $7,200 in credit card debt spread across 2 cards, 4 active BNPL plans she'd partially forgotten about, and $0 in savings. She wasn't irresponsible. She wasn't spending on vacations. She was just leaking quietly, consistently. She did the 72-hour audit, found $310 in monthly charges she didn't need, canceled them. She started the 1% transfer, $43 a month into a high-yield account. She called her car insurance company, saved $520 a year. She doubled her minimum payment on her highest interest card. 8 months later, no raise, no side hustle, no investing. She had $1,100 in emergency savings, 0 BNPL plans, and had reduced her credit card interest cost by over $1,400 a year. She didn't change her income. She stopped the leak. I want to be real with you for a second. I don't know exactly when the next big crash hits. Nobody does. Anyone telling you they know is selling something. But here's what 100 years of financial history tells us with absolute certainty. The families who survive economic crises are not the ones who predicted them perfectly. They're the ones who were already prepared when it arrived. You don't need to be rich to be prepared. You don't need a financial advisor. You don't need to understand the stock market. You need 4 steps, 30 days, and a decision to start today. Not Monday, not next month, today. Before you leave, I want to ask you something. Which one of these 4 steps are you starting with? The 72-hour audit, the 1% transfer, the insurance call, or doubling the minimum payment? Drop it in the comments right now. I read every single one and I reply. Because here's what I've noticed. The people who write it down, even in a YouTube comment, are dramatically more likely to actually do it. So write it right now. Which step? That's it. And if you want to know what to do once your emergency fund hits 1 month of expenses, because that's when everything changes, that's when you actually start building wealth instead of just stopping the bleeding. I made that video already. It's right here, point to corner. Hit subscribe so you don't miss what comes next. I'll see you there.